Tonight, we're going to be talking about editing with Historian. Historian is a program sold by Forever. I am an advisor for them, and let me see, I'm going to take you to the Forever website real quick. And I've talked about Historian before. And that night I was just talking about how awesome it is to organize your photos using Historian. So tonight we're going to specifically talk about editing using Historian, how to edit. So that is under the preserve and organize section on this website. Actually, yeah, it is. Why can't I? Here we go. Here it is. So this is organized with Forever Historian. You can download a free trial. The program is $99.99, but there's always deals running, and I'll hop on over to the deals page so that you can see what if it's on sale. When you sign up as a new customer on Forever, you get $10 off. So I like that on the 14 days of Christmas in June, it'll tell you what's coming up. So this one, let's see. This is Artisan. Here's a mystery. Digital art. If you have Artisan, digital art is going to be on sale. Okay, so they upped it. When you first join, when you open a new account, you get $20 off. And let's see, what am I looking for? I'm looking for Historian. I might just not see it, but there's usually a deal somewhere on here on Historian. But even $20 off the $100, it's worth it. And if you haven't experienced how to organize in Historian, then I would say go back and watch that Techie Tuesday, because that's what I personally use. It's an amazing program for organization and of your photos. And so tonight I'm just going to focus on the editing part. So let's get right into it. And hello, everybody. Everybody's saying hello on the. It's good to see some friends that were with me at the retreat to the lake. I'm going to share my Historian screen here, and we can jump right in. So I'm not going to go into the organization part of things on Historian too much, because I have a whole separate Techie Tuesday on that. But just real quick, when you first open it up and I come to my welcome page, I have 99,000 photos in my vault right now. I don't keep my videos in here, although you can, and you can also keep audio clips. But my videos are so big, I have them just organized on an external hard drive. So this is, and since you can't edit videos in here, although it is nice, it's called, a media library. So it's meant to hold your video, your audio, your photo. It's meant to do all that. I actually, a couple years ago, split my vault into two. It was so huge, and I think I mentioned this the last time we talked about Historian, that when I called Forever, the person I was speaking to is the largest vault that they had ever, talked to somebody about. So I ended up splitting my vault in two because it's just so massive. And it's approaching 100,000 again. So I'm probably gonna, it says 2015 to 2020. 2021 should be in another, and it's starting there, and do like another 5 years in another vault. Most people that I work with, that is not an issue for them, but I just have massive amounts of photos. So that's what I do. So we go to media library, and it starts with my oldest pictures, which in this vault is just from 2015 to current. And to protect the faces of the innocent, I'm going to predominantly be working with some nature nature items, just to show you some editing. But again, these are all my categories on the left, and you can learn more about those on my Techie Tuesday about organizing and historian. But so I have a category called nature. That's where I put all of my my pictures of goats and butterflies and flowers and all that good stuff. So I just wanted to kind of go through the editing process a little bit, so that you could you can just see how easy it is to edit things in the program, and some really cool features like revision management. So you can have multiple revisions of the same photo. So I'm just going to double click on a photo, and that's how you get into the edit mode. And let me back out of here really quick so I can show you the difference along. So there's these 4 menus across the top when you're just in your media library mode. You've got home, share, vault, and view. And so when you double click, those are going to change to the edit tabs. And now I've got image, adjust, and touch up. So the first thing I'm going to do is just what most people, the first thing they do is really color correct, right? And also crop. So I'm going to go in here, and the first, I suggest, and some of you have heard this from me in the past, that I suggest that everyone floats over every single button, and you'll get a little box that tells you what each button does. So like crop, it's crop this image. Free rotate, or rotate this image any amount. You know, and a lot of us are getting to editing on our phones more, so by the time it gets on your computer, there isn't a lot of editing to do. And I think that mainly comes from, you know, posting, because you edit it before you post it if you're big into social media. So all of these little green boxes up here are for flipping. You know, you can flip a picture, rotate it, that kind of thing. So then there's auto fix, which I'm going to come back to, and then light, black and white, sepia. There's a quick fix for red eye and a red eye brush. It's in its own little red eye menu up here. So I'm going to click that auto fix so you can see what that does. And all right, it gives you one, the top one is the perfectly clear. It has multiple adjustments going on. And down at the bottom left corner, you can hit the review, and it'll show you what it's done. So basically it's brightened things up a little bit, particularly in the background. Then it gives you a couple other ones. So then there's a standard auto color, and you can review that and see it takes a lot of the whole picture is kind of pinky. That the auto color kind of took that out. And then standard auto contrast is another one that didn't really change too much. Then you can either accept one of those or you can just cancel it. So I'm going to cancel right now because I'm going to take you through where you can kind of dial things in, like maybe you do on your phone, or maybe you do a quick fix on your phone. But if I click on the light button up here, which is the sun, I get a little menu that has contrast and brightness, but underneath is more options. And so over here, I can mess with my midtones. I can darken shadows. I can brighten up highlights. I can do all kinds of things using these sliders, mess with contrast, until I get the picture just the way I want it. And you can always, down in the bottom left, review and see what's been done. All right, so once you have it the way you want it, you just click accept. and it still isn't saved. It still isn't, you aren't done yet because you're still in this edit mode. Now I'm going to hit crop, and you'll see over here on the left, you have custom, square, and then your standard print sizes. So if you're going to upload a picture as an 8x10, you want to do the 8x10. Otherwise, wherever you upload it to, say Walgreens or wherever, then you're going to have to edit it in there, maybe slide it up or down. So I'm going to just take part of this picture here, and there's a person in the background. I'll edit that out after. And my finger is also there. So we're gonna have some fun and get rid of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and crop that out, and now we're zoomed in. So that's pretty much the most of what people are looking for as far as editing goes. Now, this program does have more advanced stuff. So if I go to adjust, a tab up here at the top, the second one over, now you can see I've got all kinds of other things that I can do. The light button is back, and that goes to the exact same thing that we were just in. There's also color balance, hue and saturation. So say hue and saturation, again, you can't mess anything up. So it's fun to just go in, pick a picture and kind of play with it. So I can dial the saturation down and see how it mutes out that color. I can increase the saturation, and then it becomes electric. And you can review and see what your changes have done. You can also, up here on the top slider bar, if you change that, that will actually just change the whole picture of the whole color. And then we can review from the original and then see what we did and decide to cancel it if we want. So that's that was hue and saturation. You can dial down the temperature. You can make it cooler, and or you can make it warmer. So those come into play a lot with outdoor photos, especially if you're in the shade or you're maybe in the woods where everything kind of gets green cast. You can mess with the temperature of things. Then you can soften a picture, you can sharpen it, you can change the image size. Sometimes people will come to me and they'll have to upload something to a website, and they'll say, well, it can't be more than such and such megapixels, or it has to be this dimension by this dimension. Well, if you click on image size, you can put that right in there. You can dial that right in there. So it says that this one is 16.2 megapixels. So that's big. And if I were needing to upload it, and then there's also fun filters you can use, and they are organized, artistic. You can do different things on the edges. You can distort things. So like artistic, you can do it as like an oil painting, and you can change the brush size and the smoothness, and then you can preview it before you accept. So I hit the preview button, it'll do its fun. Although I need the little dancing man that Tracy and Sadie. Well, it doesn't seem to be much of a change, but if I zoom in, you can see that it is a change. It does have that oil painting look to it. And you can change the brush size to make it look like that. So that's fine. We're going to cancel out of that. And then our last little tab up here is touch up. And this is where we can get rid of things. We can clone things and erase things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have, not that anyone would matter, or would notice necessarily, but I'm going to get rid of part of my ant here that's in the background. And the reason why, let's just say I wanted to frame this and that was distracting to you in the side, it doesn't matter. And this is just an example. But what I'm going to do is hit the clone button. And by using the little button on my mouse, I can increase the size of the area that I'm going to clone. And once you pick the area, then, and you pick it by holding the shift key and then clicking, and that sets where you're going to clone from. And then you just with the mouse and get rid of whatever you want to get rid of. Now, I was coming down, which means my clone is above this circle. And what I really should do is clone from the left to the right so I can get this ocean in the back. So I'm going to cancel that, and then we'll do it again. And I'll pick clone, and I'll make it a little smaller so that I don't end up cloning into this flower here. And then now I select it again, and I'm going to go this way. And my button is a little close. My sample button is a little close, but we'll fix that because this looks terrible. I'm going to come over here and turn down the opacity so that the brush isn't as hard. And then you want to zoom in too. That makes it a lot easier. Okay, this is a little better. And I'm just going to cover over. Need a little more distance between my sample point and what I'm doing. But you can just kind of color over everything. It's sampling to the left so that I'll be able to pick up the horizon there and the ocean. Now, what happened here is I went too far over. So we're just going to undo those last couple. But that can happen. You get a little carried away when you're cloning. And the thing about cloning is when you're this magnified and you're in it, you can say, oh, I can see the lines. But if the point was just to get rid of the distraction of whatever it is you're trying to clone out, maybe it's a street sign, maybe you took a beautiful sunrise picture. Oh, I'll do it again. A beautiful sunrise picture and somebody like walked right through it. So you're just looking to get rid of the distraction. It doesn't necessarily need to be completely perfect. Oh, I went too close again. Okay. So let's see. Let me back out of here so you can see what that looks like. And I can come around to the smudge and smudge this area so that, but if you were to see that framed, you wouldn't know that there was a person there. And now I'm going to get rid of my my finger here, and I'm going to do that by selecting and then just kind of coming in here and going over my finger. And I need to be a little bit further away from my sample point. But you can see how you can really have fun with the cloning. And that's basically what I use. I would say I use most in this program is just the regular editing, cropping, and then cloning things out. So that is how, whoops, oh, that's extreme close up here. then we can review and see what it looked like before. So just got rid of that. And then when you're done editing, and it is how you want it to be, you can say accept. And then these other items up here, there's paint, smudge, lighten, darken. Now, the lighten or the decrease color is actually, hey Brandy, Brandy's in Las Vegas. Hi girl, thanks for joining us. This is smudge. So smudge, this is where I said I was gonna just kind of smooth out those lines that I made, and I went too far. I'll go to the left. The nice thing is, see, you don't even need to Control Z with this. You can just hit the undo button, but you can also Control Z. So now I've smoothed that out over there. I can also, if when you're cloning things, if things look too repetitive, you can also come in and kind of smudge them so that they don't look as uniform. And I mean, if you're talking about uploading this to have it printed on a canvas, maybe there's all kinds of things you can do. And again, sometimes you're your own worst critic. You think, oh, that looks terrible, or you know, like that. What did I just do there? But when that's not the focus, when you're just trying to get rid of a distraction, then no one's ever going to know that you did that. And then again, you can go to the review and decide if you like it. You can use your undo button for whatever you don't like. I'll go back. I'll take this last smudge back all the way and then accept it. Now, once you've got it the way you want it, and you can hit this little X up here, you can hit your save, either one, because it's going to ask you, do you want to save the changes you made to the image? And you're going to say yes, and then you're going to get this. And if you have the image revision management on, which I always suggest that you do, you can either tell it to overwrite the original or save it as a new revision, which I always do. And so then whatever changes you make or whatever edits you make, you can go back to the original. So when I float over this picture now, it says revision, and it says I have one revision. And it has the date that I took the photo, the date that I imported it into Historian. And if I right click on it, I get more options. And one of them is revisions. And if I open it in revisions, it's going to say the original, which is protected. And then it's going to show the one that's the one that I see out on my screen. And then there's other information in here. This will tell me what size it was, where my vault is, the backup status, metadata, all kinds of stuff. What if the flash went? It tells you all kinds of interesting items that you probably won't need to know. But you can duplicate it from here, so you can delete it, you can recover it. So there's all kinds of things you can do when you're in revision. But if you want to go back to the protected original, then you can click on that and say set active, and then close it, and then that's what you're going to see out here. Now the revision doesn't go away. Here's the revision right here, but it just shows you which one is active. So I'll say set active and close that. And then let's see, let me jump over to I'm still in my nature here. I should have written down. There was a crazy sky when one of the storms was offshore. somewhere. The skies are pretty. You can see most of my nature pictures are of the beach. I thought it was in... It was a plumeria in the front yard. Where did it go? I know it was in 2020. With Historian, you can use this little slider to make pictures smaller, so your thumbnails, it's easier to see and scroll through. Of course, I made it mad because I'm also streaming to Facebook. Don't be mad. I just want to show them the plumeria picture. Does anyone have any questions while I'm waiting for my computer to cooperate? There we go. Oh, there's Mount Dora. That's way too far. Please enjoy this scroll through my photos. That is crazy. Oh, here they are. Actually, I don't think that's them, but that's okay. That'll do. Apparently, I've taken this picture before. So what I wanted to show was how you can lighten up in certain spots. So I've got some of my plumerias here in full bloom. I double clicked on it to go into edit mode. I can try the auto fix first. And when you've got bright colors all around, that lightened up my sky. I can go into review. It kind of lightened up everything, but I kind of lost the purple sky. And then the standard auto color, you couldn't even tell that it was taken at sunset. Oops, and I clicked accept, which I didn't mean to do. And then standard auto contrast is a little bit better, but I'm going to cancel out of this and just kind of play with the original. I'm going to go straight to the touch up and to my lighten brush. And so you can take, you can lighten up just certain spots of the picture by running the brush over the areas. So you can lighten up what would have been dark and kind of shed some light on it. And then you can accept that. And then we can come in and go back to our image or into adjust. And we can increase the saturation, the color saturation. So that's going to make the colors even more vibrant. Let me review those for you. See how pink those get. And then even the sky got a lot brighter. It might be hard for you to see. And then I can come into the light here and see what contrast does. So the contrast makes the foreground and that sun, if I turn it down, more the same. But because I lightened up those flowers, they're not getting all washed out. And I can even make the shadows darker by scrolling the shadow down to the left there, and makes the shadows darker, but it makes those flowers, the flowers still pop because I lightened them up. And you can lighten them before or after. I just did it before. So that is that. Now, again, so there's lots of different things you can do editing wise in this program. But I'm going to say, yes, I'm going to save these changes, and it's a new revision. But really the number one reason for purchasing this program, I think, is the automatic backup. You have a shadow copy, so when I shut this down, any changes I make in my vault will automatically back up. And I bring everything I take on my phone goes goes straight up, it goes to Dropbox, and then I pull them in from Dropbox into here. So if you watch that Techie Tuesday on organization with Historian, then you will learn all about that. Okay. Last thing I want to do is picture Brendan and I, because Brendan is notorious for his eyes being closed in pictures. And I know, you know, that's a problem for a lot of people. So what I wanted to do was show, how you can clone from one picture to the next. So if you've got a group picture where like everybody's smiling except for the one person, right? So what I'm going to do is I've got these two pictures. Now in this case, I'm kind of looking off to the side in this one, but I've got two pictures, one with his eyes open and one with him kind of sleepy. And so what I'm going to show you is how you can clone someone's eyes in this case, or sometimes it's a smile or whatever, from one photo to the next. So you're going to drag the photo that you want to use as a reference over to the work area, which I did. And then we're going to double click on the one that we're going to fix. So Brendan's eyes are a little sleepy there. And then up here on the top left, there's a reference image. And I'm going to change that to, if it says from a copy of the current image or from the work area. So if I wanted to copy my eyes onto Brendan, I could just say from the current image. But I'm going to do it from the work area and select that photo. And now they're going to be side by side. So now I can use the clone tool to basically paint these eyes onto these eyes. And it is important that they're the same size. So if you look down at the bottom, they're both at 48% magnification. And now I'm going to go to touch up and I'm going to say clone. And just how I showed you on the other one, I'm going to set my spot. So I'm going to go right in the middle of Brendan's eye, is the one that's super sleepy over here. I'm going to go right into the middle of it. And I'm going to make sure that my opacity is up enough. Let's see, I'm going to increase this. And then all I'm going to do, because my set point is over here, so now I'm just going to go right to the middle of his eye over here and start painting. So it's cloning, and you can see the little crosshairs on the left side. And you can see that it's copying that eye over. And if your opacity isn't all the way dialed up, then it can look a little fuzzy. So I went a little. The more you go over it, the clearer it'll get if it isn't at 100%. And even this left eye is a little ready to blink. So because these pictures are at the same magnification, and we took two in a row like that, I can just go straight over to this other eye and everything's going to match up just fine. So now I can go down here to review and see. So we have sleepy Brendan to awake Brendan, just like that. So just another one of the tools for editing in Historian. All right. Does anyone have any questions about specific types of editing tools? Now, I will say that this is just a PC program, so unless you have you're running Parallels on your computer, if you have a Mac and you have Parallels, then yes, you can use this. If not, then the only way to use it is on a PC, and it is my favorite organization program, as well as editing. It is really great. I do also have Lightroom, and for some of my photography, I will use presets for clients that if they want a certain look. And you can do that, but going onesie twosie into all of these editing modes to get a certain look, adjust and touch up, is a little cumbersome when you're dealing with hundreds of photos from a shoot. So for my personal photos, this is definitely my program of choice. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them at this time or later. You can always put them in the chat and I can answer them later. Just as a recap here, let's see. I will remind you, if there's anyone new that's come in, that we have a Schools Out crop. I see some ladies on here that are signed up for that already. Schools Out crop, Friday, June 18th. At the VFW in Port Orange, certified teachers, only $5 to crop for the day, and that includes lunch. Everyone else is $15 for a half table. They are oversized 6-foot tables. So, or $25 for a full table, and that is 9 to 6. You can sign up on my website. And then let's see what else is this week. This week there's a Zoom crop on Thursday night. Now you have to say you're going so I can message you the code. I'm not going to just post the Zoom link out on my Facebook page, because the last time we did that, our Zoom meeting was hijacked, and that was very exciting. And I almost had a little mini heart attack there when people just started flooding into our Zoom. So please indicate that you want to come to the Zoom crop Thursday, or as I like to call Friday Light. Then you can crop with us from 6 to 9. If you got the secret box, I got one back here. If you got the secret box, then you'll jump on at 5:45, so we can open those together. The secret box did sell out, so if you but I don't have any more secret boxes. These ones are spoken for, but there will be another one this year. So if you would like to be on my list so that you do not miss out on a secret box, you can let me know and I will pre-order them for you. Creative members used to let us only order one, but this time they let us order multiples, so I can order them for you. So, alrighty, well, that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you all for watching. I will give away, I give away something free tonight. If you share this video, you can share it now, you can share it later. You have all the way until 5:30 tomorrow night to share this if you learned something, or if you've got friends who have asked you about if you knew a program for editing photos or for organizing photos. You can share this video with them, and you will be entered into winning something, a map pack. Oh no, you know what? Let's do peekaboo pockets, because you can use those in scrapbooks, and you can also use them in digital books. You can attach them at the end in digital books with memorabilia, and you can use them in cards. So I will be giving away a pack of peekaboo pockets to somebody that shares this live video. So thank you all for sharing, and I hope to see you Thursday night in your little cropping spaces, at your kitchen table, in your home offices, wherever you do your scrapbooking at home. Hopefully I will see you then on Thursday, and join me at 5:45 if you have your secret box. Alrighty, Hope you all have a great Techie Tuesday. And if you haven't already this month, don't forget to back up your photos. Alrighty. Stay scrappy, my friends. I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye.